Save Generations with Mekwe partners launched officially the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition, which was established as a strong foundation for collaborative effort among coalition members, fostering solidarity and ensuring that all the interested parties have a comprehensive understanding of intended outcomes. Before the Mekwe program started, many challenges made it hard for young people, especially young women and girls with compound vulnerabilities, to enjoy their sexual and reproductive health and rights. These challenges include stigma, poverty, disability, lack of information, and limited access to youth-friendly services. The Mekwe program was created as a response to these issues. From 2021 to 2025, it worked to make sure that everyone, no matter their background, could access information and services on SRHR. The program used an intersectional approach to understand how different challenges affect people in different ways. In Rwanda, Mekwe is led by NUDO together with other coordinating groups like VSO, SACO, FAWE, and also we have implementing partners who are SGO, IGI, Empower Rwanda, RNUD, SFH, RESD, Reward, NCP, Hope You Watch Initiative, HDI, and 6 youth panelists. Together, they form what we call the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition, a group working to sustain the achievement of the Mekwe program and to make sure SRHR services are more inclusive and fair for everyone. Over the 5 years, the coalition did a joint assessment, shared real stories, and wrote position paper to help decision makers under the needs of youth with compound vulnerabilities. They also created a clear plan for the coalition, including its vision, mission, leadership, and key advocacy goals. As the governance structure was established, there was a steering committee put in place. This brings key actors under the Mekwe program to guide and support the coalition's work. The committee is led by NUDO as the chair, with Learn Work Develop as the co-chair, and as well as Save Generation Organization as the secretariat. The Circle of Concern serves as the treasurer, while AESD represent youth voice in the coalition. VSO Rwanda and FAWE Rwanda act as advisors, offering a guidance and technical support. Together, this team ensures strong coordination, accountability, and inclusive leadership for sustainable SRHR advocacy in Rwanda. Save Generation Organization, it's a non-government organization that works to advocate for the rights of the women, youth, and children. We have been part of the Mekwe program since 2022, and Save Generation Organization have taken lead of this idea of creating the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition, whereby under the fund of Akina Mama wa Africa, Save Generation have been implementing the project toward integration of intersectionality into the SGO program's interventions. My names are Wera Tanya Pintia. I am the project focal person on the Mekwe project at Save Generation Organization.
My name is Dusengi Ariane. I serve as the country coordinator of the Mekwe partnership in Rwanda. I work with the National Union of Disability Organization.
My name is Boni Mukombozi. I work for VSO as a project implementation manager for SRHR project.
Nkabonziza Eric. So I'm a youth with hearing impairments. So of course, I'm in a Mekwe program as a youth panel member.
My name is Nawali Tengiyumba, and I serve as the monitoring and evaluation lead at Emmanuel Girls Initiative.
Through the initiative of Mekwe program, we had one of the objectives to create a network of organizations who understand intersectionality, who understand sexual reproductive health and rights, and who are willing to come together to advocate for intersectional sexual reproductive health and rights.
helped me to help youth with different compounded vulnerabilities so that we can identify those challenges that they have and then we address them. Next, what we did, so we tried to empower youth with compounded vulnerabilities so that they will be able to stand and advocate for themselves. For hearing impairment category, we tried to train them so that they can be aware of information and they will be the voice for others.
Here that the fact that this coalition comes to create this space for advocacy, creating collective voice, but most importantly, continue the journey of making sure that the groups of young people, mainly the most marginalized, are able to keep being relevant and having the voices. But another aspect that is key is that it will continue to really push forward the coordination efforts for different organizations that are working around health.
It was obvious that we had to lead this initiative to really make sure that it gets some shape by having principles that guide it, by understanding what is the common goal that unite us as organization implementing Make-Way program, but also looking ahead after the Make-Way program. How are we going to sustain the gains of the Make-Way program?
Being part of the coalition has strengthened our capacity to view strategic planning when it comes to inclusivity in a different way, because I believe that each organization has their own advocacy plan to start with. So if we come together as a coalition, there are different things that you learn along the way that help you revise or polish the goals that you had before.
My name is Esa Aka. I'm a deaf and I can't speak. I'm volunteering in Rwanda National Union of the Deaf, which is one of the collaborating partners of the National Union of Disability Organizations in Rwanda.
My name is Amara Kushla. I'm a youth panelist in the Make-Way program. I have disability of short stature.
By the names of Babazi Fiete, working for Landmark Develop as a Programs and Partnership Coordinator. Landmark Develop is an organization that empowers women, youth with compounded vulnerabilities.
My name is Teresa Mkamakuza. I work with an organization called the Circle of Concerned African Women Theologian. I'm General Secretary of organization, but also Make-Way program coordinator.
The coalition also will advocate for these mostly marginalized persons. We'll bring them to the national level. It's like we say, bringing mostly vulnerable persons to shake hands with duty bearers, with leaders.
I believe the uniqueness of this coalition is embedded within its vision of, let's say, we're talking about intersectionality as a principle. We're talking about intersectionality as an approach where everybody, and mainly the most marginalized, as I mentioned, irrespective of their age, irrespective of sex, irrespective of gender, irrespective of disability versus ability, they are able to remain relevant in ensuring that their voices, their needs, their priorities are being considered in the overall spectrum of planning, implementation, and even evaluation.
I think one of the values that LWD has, and it is valid in the Make-Way Intersectional SRHR coalition, is that the advocacy we do for the young people around accessing their SRHR services through having safe spaces and letting young people speak out their issues, their challenges around SRHR. So the passion we have to advocate for change so that young people can enjoy same rights, those with compounded vulnerabilities, such as young people with disabilities, young people who are historically marginalized. We want to see every young people access their SRHR services without being excluded in any way. So I think the passion of advocating for young people to access their SRHR is one of the values that made it make sense in the Intersectional SRHR Coalition.
Key challenges we faced was in exclusion from decision-making spaces and limited access to SRHR information and services, especially due to stigma, discrimination and cultural barriers affecting diverse youth. Another point is that lack of capacity and confidence to effectively advocate for our SRHR rights, especially among marginalized groups.
IGI joined the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition through Make-Way program. We heard about its vision and we were drawn to it, and we wanted to also contribute to this purpose because we also learned that there will be other members that will be part of the coalition. So we wanted to contribute to it and promote an inclusive SRHR for all.
The coalition will aim at bringing these affected persons, youth with compounded vulnerabilities, and bring them to express their issues, maybe their sexuality issues, or what affected them, so that their voice be heard by the leaders who will in advance decide to make decisions or maybe change of policies.
Following the launch of the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition, member organizations came together to establish a governance and operation framework, ensuring that there is a long-term goal that is going to be achieved after the Make-Way program have ended. And also, this was put in place to make sure that there is inclusivity and increase in visibility, as well as participation of SRHR advocacy for partners, civil society allies, and also youth facing compound vulnerabilities.
First of all, coalition is strength, and it has power because there are different organizations coming together with common purpose. So when you have a common purpose and you have different skills, it helps a lot because you build each other and you support each other. So working together is the energy, and it's a benefit to all of us.
A main goal for the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR Coalition is to establish a functional, vibrant intersectional SRHR coalition with an increased capacity to jointly mobilize resources and engage into SRHR lobby and advocacy.
It will continue to really push forward the coordination efforts for different organizations that are working around health.
It is needed because it uses an intersectional lens. We all know that before, people used to serve one particular group, but Make-Way program, when it came, it opened our eyes by introducing the intersectionality approaches that made us reflect, are we doing it the right way? How can we include other people who are mostly not included within programs?
Irrespective of their age, irrespective of ability versus disability, but at the same time ensuring that even the young people are really championing this component of inclusion and intersectionality.
We put young people at the center of every activity or every project being implemented for young people to amplify the voices of other young people's compounded vulnerabilities that could not be able to get to some platforms.
And who will do that? what are the structures that we need to put in place to ensure that it is possible after the Make-Way program phases out. So in the beginning of the program, it was quite clear that we wanted this to go beyond the life of the program by understanding how we need to make that happen, by ourselves understanding how coalitions work, how other coalitions outside of Rwanda, because we also had time to visit different coalitions outside of Rwanda, and to get insight of how to make ours even more better. So I think in the beginning of the program, we had that vision, and at this point where the program is facing out, we can say that we are at a stage where we are seeing it now coming to friction, coming to a place where we can lead it even without Make-Way program.
At the end of the day, after after acquiring knowledge, skills on advocacy, I am held accountable. What did I do? Did I advocate for? Did I amplify voices of young people who are in remote areas facing issues on SRHR? So I think the importance of it all is that our capacity is built and we are held accountable to amplifying the voices of young people when it comes to SRHR.
This coalition will contribute to the coordination, consolidation of the efforts that have been achieved by this project, in especially ensuring that the most marginalized groups and everybody, the groups such as teen mothers, the barriers around inclusion, the aspect of inclusion are all maintained, and at the same time sustain advocacy efforts which will lead to the fact that everybody enjoys sexual and reproductive health and rights.
I hope big things in the future. I hope people continue to bring their skills. People amplify their voice together to advocate for SRHR.
And to potential partners who might want to join the coalition, it is a right place to be, because you will get to learn a lot on new approaches. You get to learn more about intersectionality and how to put it at work, but also you get to learn more on how to improve your organization so that it becomes inclusive, and so that your practices in your organizations and the way you do your programming, the way you mobilize your resources is centering inclusive approaches.
As Safe Generation organization, we would like to really appreciate everyone who bought in the idea of creating the Rwanda Intersectional SRHR, and those who have been part of our journey, participating into different meetings, and as well as make sure that they're engaged building a stronger coalition. From the 5 years of impact of the Make-Way program, we believe that the journey is going to continue with this Rwanda Intersectional Coalition.